So we're going to go ahead and hit those phone lines.
Okay.
Let's start with Nancy over in Anianta tonight. Nancy, good evening to you. Hope that you've had a great weekend. And if you will, go right ahead with your question.
Last year, and I went down to have the property transferred to my name. They told me I could not do that because we did not have a clause on our deed that stated that when one of us passed, then the other one would get the property. So what do I need to do in order to have the property transferred to my name?
And Nancy, let me back up a little bit because you didn't come in until a little bit later. Tell me how you started that. Who passed away?
My husband.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry to hear that.
Yes.
And that you're having some legal questions. Joy, your answer for Nancy.
So it kind of depends on a couple different things. If your husband and your name was on the deed, that's kind of where you start. That tells us which direction to go. I didn't hear if her name and her husband's name was on the deed. It sounds like she's trying to transfer it into her name, but it sounds like a deed transfer. I'm not sure if you have the death certificate. Typically, that might be something that you can use. All of the deeds are going to be filed into probate court and recording. So you might need a little bit more to kind of help you out. Please give my law office a call. I think that it should be able to be transferred if you were actually legally married at that time, but it sounds like I need a little bit more information.
If she is not on the deed, how does that work?
If she's not on the deed and they're married and she has a marriage certificate and she has a death certificate, then she might be able to get those things done. Sometimes though, when people pass away, you have to open up an estate. And an estate is a legal way to be able to transfer the person that passed away's assets. You do that sometimes if you have a will or if you don't have a will. If you have a will, it's called dying testate, but if you don't have a will, you're dying intestate. And so of course, here is a reminder for everyone, please have your affairs in order so that you don't kind of encounter some of these things when someone passes away. But it sounds like she might need to talk to a probate attorney to see if she needs to open up an estate to transfer all of the assets legally, or if it's just as a deed transfer that could only be maybe managed by some documents and maybe just that action, being able to transfer the deed.
A lot of moving parts to
Yeah.
that. And some of it would depend on if it was just in his name when he acquired the property.
Correct.
Could have a bearing on that as well.
Yeah.
So,
And the
sounds
type
like
of deed.
yeah, we
Type
need a
of
lot.
deed. An initial call maybe just to
Yeah.
get more
just to
information.
kinda get a little bit more
direct.
information.
Okay,
That's right.
wonderful. Well, Nancy, again, please accept our sincerest condolences to you first and foremost. And thank you for calling us with that question. We will give out Joy's number a little bit later in the show. So please stay with us if you will. We wish you all the best moving forward.